Just as a reminder, if everybody can go ahead and mute yourselves unless you have a question or comment so we can cut back on any background noise. If you are trying to talk and your mic isn't working, there is the chat box, so you can go ahead and utilize that. Or if you have a question as I'm talking, feel free to type in your question there, and I'll be looking through those as we go and address any questions that pop up in there. All right, so how tonight's going to work, we're going to go through equipment. We're going to do a recap on uniforms, and talk about June 30th, which will be kicking off everything for the games. Also give you an update on housing, and then open it up for any questions. So those are, and in that on June 30th, obviously, we're going to be addressing some of the transportation and how that's all going to work as well. So some of the bigger issues that I know a lot of us are wanting to get solidified and nailed down, some of the pressure points. So just to give you an update and let you know kind of where we're at with everything. So for equipment, I first and foremost want to apologize. I know that we are well overdue on getting these to you. It's not because we're slacking off, it's because there's a lot of logistics involved with this equipment and working with the partners and making sure everything's in line and ready to go, how we're going to order it, when it can be delivered, where are we delivering, what's the proper equipment that we need, the sizing, all this fun stuff. So with our busy schedules and trying to line up with their schedules, it's taken a lot longer than I had hoped and anticipated. But good news is we finally feel that we are in a spot where we can send stuff out. So you will be receiving your equipment ordering forms tomorrow, which will be May 28th. And I'm going to go ahead and actually I'll pull one up and show you what they're going to look like. Stu, I think I actually have yours for an example, so that should be good. Because this is Stu from Federal Way Soccer, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So I do have yours, so you'll be actually able to look through yours. Um, so we're going to send those out to you, and then I do apologize, but it is a quick turnaround time that we will need you to go ahead and fill it out and submit it back to us so we can get everything on order. Those will be back to us May 31st is what we'll need. And then, like we mentioned before, we've given your entire team a budget that we'll need you to stay within. As long as you are within that budget, you know, we're open to you adding items, and I'll show you how that process would work as long as we look through it and it's approved, or adjusting or what have you. So let's see if I can pull up this example here real quick and what to expect. All right, so you should right now be looking at the ordering form for the Soccer Federal Way team. This is going to be the layout of it. You'll notice at the top left is the overall budget for that specific team. You'll also notice right here the link BSN Sports is where you will want to go to if you would like to view the items and see what it is we're looking at and looking to order. You'll notice on the left-hand side is the item number, and you can go ahead and copy and paste that into the website. They have a little search engine there, and it'll show you. So, for instance, soccer balls. There's the item number. Put that in the search, and then you'll see those pop up. You'll notice pricing is going to be different on these forms from what is listed on the page, the web page. That's because we're working with them and getting a better deal than what the original costs would be. And then you'll notice some of the items here, there's going to be quantities that have already been filled in. These are what we are expecting your team to order. And for instance, for this team, we would expect to get you 10 soccer balls. A ball bag, obviously there would be one ball bag to be able to carry them all. You'll notice the Under Armour soccer cleats, that does not have a part number. So if there is something listed and does not have a part number, that's because that is one of the open items that BSN said, you know, to get the sizing, and then we will track down the best cleat that is available that we can get for all those sizing and make sure that everybody is uniform looking. But there is a unit price right there that you can look and expect to purchase. So that being said, in an item like that, Under Armour soccer cleats, you can go look at that online. Look within that price range or something possibly even a little bit over that, because keep in mind we're getting discounted prices. and you could provide a suggestion as far as, hey, we really like these cleats. Could we look at getting these? And then BSN can look into seeing if those are available and if we can get those on in time. Some of the items here that you'll notice, like shin guards, goalie gloves, goalie jersey, those have been left open. So that is something that you can plug in and say, yeah, we need, all of our players need shin guards, so we're going to get 9 shin guards. Or perhaps your players are good with shin guards. They have good quality ones. They're going to work just great. So perhaps you don't want to spend your money on shin guards, in which case you would put 0. But then you would like to dump your money into something else and getting something. That's we're open for that, or open to that. And then you'll notice too that like a goalie jersey, we realize, and goalie gloves, those come in different sizes. So what you would do on items that come in different sizes, you would go and list down in the comments. So goalie jersey, just go ahead and write goalie jersey, and then write what you would like: medium, extra large, whatever sizes you need. Or if you went on and sorry, I have timers in my office and they're going off right now. If you were to look for Under Armour soccer cleats and you found some that you liked, that's where you can write in the comments, hey, we're interested in this this item number here. Or hey, we would prefer to get these soccer balls versus the ones you listed. First and foremost, look on BSN's site and see what their options are, if you want an alternative, and find out what their alternatives are, because that's going to be the quickest and best option for us to go with. So it's really customize it to your team. How much do you want of what, and what do you feel your team needs? You'll notice that there are some blank items. So if you go on to BSN Sports and you do find some items that you're hoping to get to add to this list, you can put in the item number, what it is, and then just the quantities that you're wanting, and we can look into securing all of that for you. For the team sports, and really for any of the sports that we'll be getting shoes for, or cleats. So this here, soccer cleats. If you scroll down to the second page, you'll see that we have your team listed. And it's very simple. You'll just type in what is their cleat size, and just type those in. Now keep in mind that Under Armour is the brand that we'd be going with. So if you want to go to a local store and try on some Under Armour cleats just to make sure that the sizing is accurate, then by all means go ahead and do that. But that'll at least let you know what brand, because I know that different brands fit differently. So you'd go ahead and fill in the cleat size there and submit that along with this form. All the forms do need to be sent back to me, so the same email that you'll be receiving it from, just go ahead and reply back once you have it filled in and completed. Again, the budgets, they're going to be different for every team. So what you want to do is just make sure you're staying within that budget. If you come in under budget, fantastic. The more money we can save, the better, and that will allow us to be able to dump that into other things for Team Washington, and all that fun stuff. So yeah, but this is what we're looking like here, and then I'm going to go ahead and also show you what a softball one, just to give you an idea of a different sport here. And let me make sure that you are viewing this. Perfect. So softball, you can see here the overall budget's a little bit higher because of the items and what is required for softball. For instance, they have to buy a bunch of bats. They have to get catching gears. They have to get helmets. So different stuff. You'll see different pricing for different, and as well as they have more on their team. So same thing here. Everything's listed out through here. There's a right-handed, left-handed glove. Gloves, again, we realize that they can be specific to each individual. So if they already have their glove, great, fantastic, and they want to just roll with that one, that's great. But if you have people on your team who are needing gloves, then you'll go ahead and list out, if they're a right-hand thrower, the quantity that they're going to need. Same with the catching gloves and all of that. And same thing that goes with the cleats. These obviously would be softball cleats, but there's 16 on the team. And same thing would apply. It's Under Armour softball, baseball cleats. So you would go, if you wanted to try them on, you can in a store, but then you would provide us with the cleat size so we can get them ordered. And then comments as well. They suggest, hey, those bats, we actually went on the BSN and we found different bats that they have, and we prefer to go with these bats. Okay, great. Go ahead and list that out. You can either do that in the blank spaces or in the comments section. And then same thing so this is what every team is going to get this format. So there are some that we've already been working individually with all of you. So actually, Pat, you're one with powerlifting. We're working with you separately because of the specifics of powerlifting, and quite honestly, me not knowing a whole lot about powerlifting, I'm relying on your expertise. Stand-up paddleboarding, we've already been working with them. Gymnastics, they're taking care of their stuff. So there's certain sports that we've already been working with individually, but then the remainder will be receiving these forms. And any of the individual sports, there'll be there's things like Under Armour shoes that they'll be getting that are great performance shoe. That's just a great all around. Same with flag football. All those different items will be listed out. So this is the format, and this is what you will be receiving tomorrow. Before I go on, are there any questions for the equipment and the process, how it's laid out?
So this is Randy from Volleyball up in Skagit. So do you have a time frame when we might receive those after we order?
Yeah, so equipment is scheduled to be delivered to us at our office, and then the equipment would be ready for you to pick up June 30th when we all come together before heading over to the games. That being said, obviously we're going to be ordering shoes and some specific stuff that will require sizing, even like the gloves. So that's a case, and actually thank you for bringing that up. If there are items that you feel need to be shipped to you so you can send them out to your athletes so they can start breaking them in, obviously anything like soccer ball, baseballs, the bats, the gloves, the shin guard, or what have you, don't need to be specifically sized, so those will be available for pickup when we all come together on June 30th. But for the other ones, you can put down in the comments box of, please ship me these items. So that way we can talk with BSN, and BSN, they mentioned that they can work, and if there are specific items, they can actually ship them separately to somebody else, so to you as a coach, and then ship us the remainder of the items. So list that out in the comments, what you would like shipped to you. And
Okay.
answer on your timeline. So we need these back by this Thursday, and then those would be scheduled to be shipped out the following week. And so I would say that as long as we get these back by Thursday, you could have these items in your hand by the end of next week, or end of the following week.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Any other questions? All right, and Brian, I know Bocce, you guys will be getting some shoes, but I put on their Bocce sets, and I'm hearing that you actually have one from Italy or something like that. So if you feel that we need to get you a Bocce set, then let me know, and we'll get you set up. But we have some other items on the docket for you.
Sounds good, thanks.
Yeah. And then just so everybody knows too, I think I already said this, but I just want to go over it again. And I say this because actually Barb Poole, which is the one I'm showing here, she mentioned she probably wouldn't even need or want a water bottle with carrying tray. So that's fine. If she doesn't want that, then she can just list that as 0, and we won't order that for her. Or if she's saying, hey, we're good on helmets, we don't need helmets, okay, cool. Which she does, I know that. But just for instance, I mean, so just because we listed it, it doesn't mean your team has to get it, but just know that this was factored into your budget, and these are an option for you. All right. So again, those are due back the 31st. You'll see those tomorrow, and then we'll get some toys coming our way and get everybody set up. It'll be a good time. So thank you for your patience with that. I apologize for the length of time it's taken, but it is all going to be worth it. Okay, so uniforms, they have been ordered, and you will be receiving those when we all come together June 30th. And so after we went off of the sizing that everybody got from training camp, For team sports, we will be ordering you both a home and an away jersey. That is actually required for the USA games. So it's going to be the exact same jersey. You're just going to be getting a home and away. So just different colors within the jersey that you tried on. We unfortunately will not be able to list the last names of each individual. They will have the jersey numbers on there. That being said, if it is something to where it's really important to your team to have it, we might be able to look at adding those after the games. But given the time frame that we're working with and all the logistics, we're not able to put the last names on there before the games. But they will have their jersey number based off of what you submitted to us on the forms that we requested from you. It was I think it was unanimous that the khakis that we had at training camp, they were not liked. They did not fit well, and they just all around were not good. For that, I take full responsibility. I apologize. Those were ones that I had worked with our distributor and said, yeah, let's go with these. But I did not realize that was going to be the fit of those. So we decided we're not going to be putting people in these pants because nobody felt comfortable in them. Nobody was happy with how they fit. So good news and bad news. Good news, you don't have to wear those khakis. Bad news, we need you to go to Walmart and get sized for the ones that we are going to be wearing. The reasoning for choosing Walmart is just about everybody has a Walmart within you, not too far away from you. Walmart carries same branding throughout all of their stores, so easy accessibility. And this means that people can actually go in and try on the pants and the shorts that we're going to be getting them and make sure they feel comfortable with them. And then we will be ordering those and having those ready to go June 30th as well with everything else. You will also be, we've gone to Walmart, we've gotten the items, looked at the pants, looked at the shorts, we've looked for men's, for youth, for women's, for some of the larger sizes. We've compiled all that stuff, and we are currently putting together the same form, a sizing form, that we will then be sending out to you. That'll be coming out on Tuesday. We'll need just an extra day, so not tomorrow, but Tuesday. That form will come out and letting you know, go to your Walmart, try on these pants, try on these shorts, and then submit the size. And then those will be back to us June 11th, so we can get those ordered and in your bags, in the respective bags, and ready to go for June 30th. When we come together on June 30th, we will be having seamstresses or people who are very good with sewing, making alterations. They will be there on site, so if there is a uniform or khakis, what have you, that just are not fitting well, we'll be able to make major adjustments right there and make sure we get those, at least so people are feeling comfortable in them. Any questions on uniforms? Are we all happy with not going with the khakis we had at training camp? All right. Okay, so June 30th is when everybody is going to come together. That's when the team's convening. A location, we have a place that we're really pushing for, and we're just waiting for them to say yay or nay. So that's to come. Obviously, it's going to be on the west side, but we're going to come together June 30th. How it's looking so far is teams and everybody will be arriving at 8 a.m. We will go through the process very similar to what it looked like at training camp, so that's nice. Everybody's kind of familiar with it, where there will be schedule for teams to be able to pick up their bags, go try on it on uniforms, on their clothing, get changed into the proper attire that we'll be wearing for arrival at the games. Make any adjustments needing to be made on their clothing, just kind of go through their goodie bag in a way and see everything that they have, as well as unload the clothing and all that they brought with them. They will then put that into their big duffel bag that we ordered. Those duffel bags are the same ones that were at training camp that you saw the team uniforms in. Everybody is getting one of those, as well as a backpack. So everybody will have to, this one I'm not And logistically, we try to think through how it would work best, whether we send the bags home with everyone or we just have the bags waiting, because we also had to think of, well, where are we going to put all of the uniforms and everything that is specific to each individual? How are we going to store that? And then how are we going to get that to the individual? So what was decided is that, in talking with people who have done this before, is keep the bags, put everything in there. There's going to be the name tag on both the backpack and the bag. It's a USA Games tag that will have their name, their delegation, as well as the housing that they're staying in. So those will already be on there. And so what individuals will have to do is pack. Oh, Brian, no worries. Brian asked to be the presenter and hit the wrong button. No worries, Brian. Okay, back on luggage. Sorry. So they'll pack their bags in their normal bags. They're not going to be required to bring a whole lot, because obviously we're going to have clothing and the uniforms and the shirts and all that for them. But they'll need to bring their toiletries, their bedding, and then some undergarments and what have you. But so we'll send out a list of what to pack. They'll bring that in their own bag, and then at check-in on the 30th, part of the process will be they'll take all of that stuff and put it into their Team Washington bag. At which case, then we'll have an area for hopefully parents or whomever are still around, so they can leave the bag or send the bag back with their parents. For those teams that are perhaps coming and the parents won't be around, there will be a location that we can leave all the bags, and then we will have bag tags that will go on those empty ones. So then at the end of the games, we can get that back to them super quick and easy. So teams will have their blocks. They'll go through, they'll get sized to get on their equipment. Also in that, we're going to do one last performance station or data analysis on health. And it's going to be the same process that was at training camp. So again, there's going to be a schedule for each team that you'll go get your equipment, uniform sizing, all that fun stuff. And then there'll also be a schedule, a time block set aside for doing the data analysis for health. And then we're going to be setting up a nice lively atmosphere. So there's going to be some games, so very similar if you went to the picnic to end training camp. There's going to be games outside, music playing. We'll have a lunch style again, and it's just going to be a fun time to so that people, they can kill the time. It's not just kind of sitting around waiting for things to happen. So that way, team has stuff to do. And then before we leave, we're going to just kind of bring everybody together. We're going to get everybody motivated and focused. I'll be saying a few words, kind of giving a breakdown of how it's going to work from here on out, as well as kind of what to expect for the USA Games and get everybody excited. And then we're also going to be having Kevin L. Schuler, our sports psychologist, our team sports psychologist, who is going to help get everybody's minds focused on the games, hopefully help do away with all the outside life that's happening and get everybody focused and excited on the games. And then we'll say, let's go get them. And we're going to start loading the buses by 12:30. We're going to get a bunch of buses and load the buses. All the bags and everything will stay behind, or we're going to be having USA Games personnel will be picking those up, bringing them to our housing dorm. That way, all we have to do is just load the buses. We'll leave there by 1 p.m. From our location to arrive at our dorms that we're going to be staying at by 1:30 p.m. And then all of our bags will be delivered to that site. So we don't have to worry about that. Again, as I mentioned earlier, everybody's tag will have their name, the delegation they're on, as well as their housing location. And this is what they're doing for all of the teams. So we're not the only ones. So they have a system put in place, and they know how to get them there. We'll arrive at the dorms, and I'll already have received all of the keys, so then we'll hand them out to everybody. Unfortunately, I tried to get them to let us bring the keys to our location that we're going to be meeting at, so we could just take care of that in the morning, but UW's very protective of those and does not want those leaving the campus. So we told them, we'll figure it out when we arrive. That's when we'll distribute the keys to everybody, get them settled in and good to go. So that's kind of how the process will work, convening on the 30th and going through everything and then getting over to the games. Again, like I mentioned, the team will be taking buses over there. we realize there's some logistic things to kind of figure out. One is housing for teams who are traveling, especially from the east side, making sure that we get you housing on Friday. That way you can wake up, since everybody has to be there by 8 a.m. on Saturday. We don't want you waking up super early, so we'll be getting housing for everybody who has to travel a fair distance. It's what we're looking at is 60 miles or more will be receiving housing. Those under 60 miles, we'll just have you drive over that morning. For teams who are getting rental cars, that's another logistical thing that we are factoring in, and we're working with Enterprise, is those of you who are getting vehicles, obviously you will drive those to the location that we're going to be meeting at on June 30th. And then we will have individuals that will return those vehicles for the week, because we don't want to be paying for those, since transportation at the games will be provided by USA Games. And then we'll have a couple of vehicles ourselves that will be driving around, just in case their transportation system breaks down. So for those who are renting vehicles, we'll have a team that will go ahead and take care of that for us, who will go ahead and return the vehicles. And then at the end of the games, we'll already have those reserved with Enterprise, so that we can go to Enterprise and get those for you, or get you back in your rigs to get you back home. As I said, again, transportation is provided by USA Games. They have buses. I think they partnered with multiple charter buses that will be making their loops and their rounds and bus schedule and all that. Those of you, one thing that we are looking is we trying to get two birds with one stone. Those of you who are renting 12-passenger vans, we actually very well will reach out to you and say, hey, how about we just go ahead and snag those, and that'll be part of the assisted staff. We'll drive, your two vans that you rented, instead of having to return them, and then we already have those and don't have to worry about getting you back in those at the end of the game. So we'll be working with you on that, all the fun logistics stuff that'll happen during the week. Any questions? And I know there's a detailed schedule that has yet to come out, as well as the actual location to send you at. But for now, if you need to rent vehicles, get vehicles. And, those of you traveling outside 60 miles, get vehicles and plan to be traveling on Friday, and then be housed. And then, be there by 8 a.m., ready to rock and roll, and then we go into the games. Any questions as far as June 30th goes thus far?
So on transportation, I already reserved a van with Enterprise. So you want me to cancel that and just do it for a day? Or you're going to be working with that?
No, yeah. So rent the vehicle for the entire week, so we have it. It's always easier to cancel or adjust, minimize the days than it is to add. So rent it for the entire week. Because like I said, it could be that we look and we see, hey, Randy, you have a 12-passenger van. We're going to commandeer that for the rest of the week. So yeah, get it for the entire time at this point.
So I'm taking you're going to work with Enterprise and put extra drivers on the van name?
Yeah, we'll take care of all that stuff. So what we need to do is, if you do secure it, let us know. Here's the Enterprise we secured it from. So just, it's the transportation request forms. And then we will, if we want to commandeer that or what have you, we're going to work with Enterprise and get all that taken care of. We're not going to put that on you.
Okay.
Yep. Any other questions out there? All right, perfect. Well, more to come on that. Cool. Yep, looks like I covered everything. All right, housing. So we have finally gotten or received our housing assignments. I should say majority of our housing assignments. There are still, we are shorted a few rooms, so we're working at finalizing that. But right now we are at McHahen Hall. I always butcher that name. That's where they have us housed. They have us housed on the second floor all the way up through the 6th floor. So that's nice. We're all in the same building, all right in the same floors. It is pod style housing. So that being said, there's 3 or 4 rooms that share a bathroom. So obviously those will be gender specific. There will be one pod that is going to be mixed, and that's just because of, we unfortunately we didn't have enough beds to be able to make them all gender specific. So some of you, obviously, you'll notice that there may be a few of you that were put into that mixed gender, so that in that case, what we'd have to do is work a schedule or figure out how we can make a male restroom available to you or a female restroom available to you. But that'll be coming out. Housing will be sent out May 29th, as well as the layout. So you'll actually be able to see, here's the room we have your team in, and then here's the layout of it. So you'll be able to see how it's all put together. And then obviously any corrections or adjustments you can submit to us, and those would be due the 31st, so we can submit the final to UW. That was the nice thing about training camp, is that it allowed us to experience and see who worked well with each other and who roomed well with each other. So obviously you can take from that experience and make these adjustments as needed. So as far as those who don't have housing right now, to be transparent with you, we have everybody housed except for flag football. We're working at finalizing your housing and getting you plugged into your rooms. And then even the assisted staff. Currently we don't have housing, but I would rather it that way than a team not having housing. So we are the last ones to get housed. I'm not worried about it. I know we're going to get the rooms, but we're just working on solidifying that with USA Games. But you can go ahead and go on to UW's website if you like, and McMahon Hall is where we are going to be housed, so you can figure out the layout and where that's going to be located. They probably even have the layouts online, but we'll be sending that out to you as well with your housing assignments May 29th. Any questions on housing?
What's the name of that hall again? I didn't understand you.
McMahon, so MCHAHON, Hall, McMahon Hall.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. And so we did, I talked with them about laundry services. I know that it came up at training camp as far as if their students would actually be there, we could just drop them off, or if we were going to have to be doing it. We are going to have to do it, unfortunately. There is no laundry service provided to us. They do have the machines that will be open to us, and they will have the laundry pods that we can use. But we will have to be doing our own laundry. And again, just to let you all know, we've ordered in the mesh bags for each individual. So they will just go ahead and put their stuff in their bag, and then all we have to do is just chuck that into the washer and dryer and not have to be separating. Once it all comes out, then we just go ahead and hand it back to the individual. You have to pay to use it. So that is something USA Games, they're trying to get somebody to sponsor those costs. If they are not able to, what we are going to be doing is going out and purchasing Visa gift cards because these machines are able to take credit cards, debit cards. So we'll be getting those for each coach. So then you would be able just to put those charges on that card and no expense to you. Obviously, that's a cost that we'd be picking up. So be planning on doing some laundry. That is not being done for us.
How many per room?
How many laundry units? What do you mean?
Athlete. How many athletes or coaches per room?
Oh, they are, depending on the pod, some are individual rooms, so it's just one bed, but majority are 2 per room. So it's your typical dorm style. All right. Okay, that's all I had on the docket for this evening. Any outlying questions or comments that we can look into or perhaps even answer right now for you?
So, Stephen, I asked if Tim Holloran was going to have housing at some point in time. They said that he wouldn't be able to stay. He was my assistant coach, chaperone. I get
Tim.
For volleyball.
Yeah, what was Tim's last name?
Tim Holloran. Holloran. Holloran.
Did we get him added to the delegation?
Yes.
We did. Okay. If he's on the delegation, he should be getting housing, but that's something that we can confirm on when we send out your housing. And actually, if you want to, I can tell you here, I could probably see if his name is listed yet. Hang tight with me here. So I tell you what, let me, gosh, I'm looking at this. It's a whole Excel with a bunch of names.
Okay.
Yeah, let's follow up. Let's follow up offline on that. And if he's on the delegation, he should be getting housing. Why? What was the reasoning for him not getting housing?
When Joe was there, he said that he wouldn't be able to stay with the team. He could get a pass to come in to coach at the games and help with the games, but he wouldn't be able to. He wouldn't have housing. He wouldn't be able to stay. That's what they said early on.
Okay, I did not hear that. So let's follow up and see what that situation is and make sure we get that taken care of.
Okay. All right.
All righty, cool. Anything else for the good of the order? Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. Again, thanks for taking the time on Memorial Day weekend. Hope the rest of your weekend goes well. And you will be hearing from us and getting emails from us starting tomorrow through Tuesday. And as we're approaching and getting more information from USA Games, we will continue to update you and make sure you have everything you need. So I appreciate everybody. Have a good night.